of our members just 2 weeks ago. So yeah, so thank you everybody for coming. So I won't take so long. I just give you guys a little bit update so you guys know what's happening in our community. So so this is what we have been doing for the past 1 year. So apart from Vietnam, so we have actually 37 chapters around the world. So we do a lot of different events. So we work with a lot of like very big corporate, Microsoft, Amazon, for example KPMG, and also other Bloomberg, Dow Jones, all these firms. So we do a lot of different events for our members all across the world. So all of these events, you are welcome to join. So if you happen to be in Singapore, in Australia, in London, as long as we have an event there, you are welcome to join. You are welcome to join any of our events because membership is global. It's not only limited to Vietnam, so you can join any of our events across the world. So also we have a magazine, so we partner with Dow Jones. So this magazine interviews is not only for members in Hong Kong or Singapore, it's also open to our members in Vietnam. So if you have a product or you have a service you would like to push to other countries, you are welcome to let us know and we can do an interview for you. The interview is not only for our members, it also uploads to the Dow Jones platform, so they have around 1 million users. They all are like bankers from different countries. So yeah, so people will get to know you guys more. And also, apart from face-to-face meeting, actually we have an online platform for our members to connect with each other. So in the platform, you're able to see like where the members are coming from, their business title, their company, and a brief summary about what they do. So if you not yet submit your profile to us, you are welcome to do so. If you already submitted your profile and you don't know what's going on with your profile, actually you can log into our website. You're able to see your own profile and then you can connect with other members from other countries also. And this is some of our partners, so we work with most of them. And we added a number of new partners just these few weeks. Okay, and also I would like to introduce our Vietnam committee. I think last year we already did introduce our committee to all of our members in Vietnam, but I think some members are first time to our community gathering. So yeah, some of our committee are here today. So Kenny and also Doug Emming will be coming soon. She's on the way. Other committee members, unfortunately, they are traveling. So most of them are outside of the country. So yeah, so they cannot join us today. So before I pass the mic to the panelists, I would firstly like to welcome our sponsors. So Mikey, who sponsor all the cocktail at the back. So I just pass the mic to him. He can introduce about the...
Good evening. Cheers. If you have a cocktail, let me say cheers and thank you. My name is Mikey Branker. I am one of the founders and the COO of Vietnam's first single malt whiskey distillery. So we make real barrel-aged single malt whiskey just outside of Hanoi. Whiskey takes time. Unfortunately, you're not able to drink any of the whiskey tonight. It's aging in barrels and will do so for the next 3 years. But tonight we have gin and rum and 2 different cocktails, a mojito and a Negroni, and all of the products you're drinking are indigenous to Vietnam. So the gin is from rice from Thai Binh, and the rum is based in sugar from Nghệ An. And then we have a series of liqueurs as well. If you're interested, we do gift packaging, we do specialty solutions, ready-to-drink cocktails, or for the right customers, we can offer you a full barrel of single malt whiskey, which is branded with your own name or label when the product is ready in 3 years. So I hope you enjoy the drinks. I'm here to enjoy the presentations, and I want to say thank you very much to all of you. Cheers.
Next, I would like to pass to Tam from KPMG. Maybe you would like to speak a few words?
Right. This is a bit out of the agenda. All right, so... All right, thank you very much, Gary. And ladies and gentlemen, really honored to be the host of probably the very first meetings of the SHIAC in Vietnam. So it's also very new to us. But KPMG has been in Vietnam for about 30 years now, so this year we are celebrating our 30-year anniversaries. We are doing it next month. So we're here, and part of our role and responsibility is to support the investor and the business in Vietnam to be successful. So I'm very pleased to see a lot of new faces, but also a lot of old friends. And we really hope that KPMG can partner with the CEO clubs for the coming activities, whether in Vietnam or in other countries. So enjoy your evening.
Thank you so much. And actually, we are already working with KPMG in Hong Kong and Singapore. So tonight we actually have some members from Hong Kong. We have Tim, we have Peter, and also with members from Singapore, also members from Philippines. So so you can in our committee you can catch up with people from different countries. So if you guys travel to other countries, you can also join the event. So let me now pass to Doug for the opening speech, and then we will move to the panel discussion. Oh, Doug, please. So Doug has been with us. I think he's the first member, and yeah, he's very helpful. So he introduced a lot of members to us.
Hello everyone. So thank you very much, Gary, for the introduction. So actually, I'm assigned a small task to say a few words to you. So as a committee member, it is our great honor to welcome you and thank you all for coming today. We are very excited for growing community of our members in Vietnam, and we hope that we will have more activity and to benefit our members, and we will have more new members joining Asia CEO community. So there is today, as Gary said, we have a very diverse audience. Old friend and new friend, and we also have a representative from Hong Kong, Philippines, and from other countries joining us. So I think now in Vietnam it is an interesting time because Vietnam has been now play a greater role in global supply chain. Some of you is first time to Vietnam, and some of you has been came back here, so you can see a lot of development here. You can see the energy of the city here in Vietnam. So I think Vietnam will present a lot of opportunity for us, cross-border opportunity in Asia, and in Vietnam as a very rapidly growing economy, and also I think more important or critical investment hub in Asia. So I think with sizable population and market and strategic location of Vietnam in Asia, I think there is quite a lot of sectors that business community and investor can do in Vietnam. I think a lot of you has been doing business here, but we can name a few like manufacturing, exporting industry, like infrastructure development. So we need to spend a huge investment for the next 10 years. Green energy, sustainability development. And with the growing market and sizable population, we also see the growing sector like technology, startup community also growing very fast. I think in Southeast Asia now, Vietnam, just a second to Singapore for startup community. And we also think some other area of potential like education, logistics, healthcare, pharmaceutical. So to make it short, so I would like to introduce our esteemed guest speaker today, who will discuss for the topic today is Vietnamese company assessing and raising capital. So I think it's a good time for you to discuss and sharing with guest speaker, and it's also a great time for us to network and make a new friend. So the first speaker we have Mr. Thuan. Quang, the chairman of FiinGroup and CEO of FiinRatings. FiinGroup is a leading financial data firm in Vietnam, and FiinRatings is a sister company. It's a first licensed credit rating agency in Vietnam, and they work with their strategic partner is the Standard & Poor's. And the second speaker is Mr. Peter Ho from Hong Kong. So he's the managing director of Greater Asia Squadron Capital. It's nice we have Kenny Chiang. He's my friend. He's from Vietnam. He's from Hong Kong, but he has been here for I think 15 years. and he's MD of Accentus Capital Partner. And we also have Miss MaryJane Salomon from the Philippines. So he's the founder and CEO of Stratoppo Capital. So I think we have an esteemed and quite diverse guest speakers. So hope that they will share with us for opportunity here in Vietnam. And finally, so thank you very much for joining us today, and we hope that you have a great time for sharing knowledge, insight, and also networking and exchanging business community. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Doug. And also, I would like to, if you see the umbrella on the chair, actually it's sponsored by MaryJane from Philippines. So she carried all this umbrella all the way from Philippines. MaryJane, would you like to just say a few words about what you do? MaryJane is very connected in Philippines, so a lot of members know her. So she's just arrived this morning.
Ciao Botoy. Good evening. Thank you, Gary, for the invitation to come here. And of course, 15 years ago, I visited Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh City, and it was so different. And when I landed this morning, I was surprised. Up close and personal, Vietnam transformed into something that we Filipinos should be, well, I don't want to say the word, but I am just happy for the Vietnamese people. So I'm here, and I hope that we can do something together. Collaboration is a word. And with the Philippines, anything that you would like to do in the Philippines, I'm here to help. The Stratoppo Global is a consultancy firm. We work with the government. We work with private entities. I represent the Philippine Retirement Authority. I represent the Department of Tourism. That's why you have your umbrellas over there. Every single week, we're visited by typhoons. So this is just an opportune time for us to make use of these umbrellas. And I paid a lot more than 100, US dollars for this because it's very heavy. But this is my gift to the people of Vietnam. So I hope you will enjoy the night. I hope that you will appreciate this humble present gift from the people of the Philippines. And thank you, Gary, Mr. Lam, for this big opportunity. So we can all grow together, not just Vietnam, because Vietnam is so, oh my God, you're there. May salute. Thank you. Maraming salamat.
Yeah, thank you. And apart from to further support our members from doing business from Hong Kong to Vietnam, so we have a team. So he will be joining our committee team for Vietnam. So he will be staying. I think he will staying in Vietnam more than Hong Kong now. So team, please stand up so everybody get to know you. So he will be joining committee team. So mainly support members from Hong Kong to Vietnam. So yeah. So before okay. So now we should move to our panel discussion. So now I would like to invite Kenny to the stage, and also Peter. Please come to the stage. We will do the panel discussion, and also MaryJane, and also Kun to the stage. Sorry about that. Yeah, please come to the stage, and then I will let you guys do the introduction about your company and yourself first, and then we will move to the yeah. So please come to the stage and join us. Yeah. Yes, please take a seat. Okay, so I will be the moderator for the panel today. Usually I don't do it, but I asked a lot of members, they said they want to do it, so I'm the one who need to do it. Okay, so the first question, before the question, I should let our members to introduce themselves first. So let's start with...
Hello. So thanks, Gary. Hi everyone. Good to see you all. First time attending this event, so very excited. And hope I can learn something from you and have some new friends, new connection. But very quick about me. Before setting up the Vietnam leaders in the information business, and I was a fund manager for European invested fund here for the public equity, and SOE pre-IPO. And before that, I was working for the PwC Sydney, Australia for a few years in Hanoi and Sydney. So now we are the leader in the information. So any one of you thinking about private debt transaction, rating, who's good guy, who's a not so good guys, corporate, I mean, in Vietnam, information, intelligence, market research, corporate scoring, ratings, is about me. And we have a holding company, have a Nikkei Japanese, the mother company at Financial Times is a share-listed partner. 35% in my company. I sell it 10 years ago. And at the subsidiary level, Standard & Poor's, the US-based company, biggest rating agency in the world, is our shareholder and partner as well. So I have some exposure with the international. So good to see you all. And we look at the Vietnamese economy, capital markets, supporting a lot of Vietnamese company for foreign debts and local debt capital markets. So hope to give you some inside out view. Thanks.
I just introduced myself, but I will reintroduce myself again. Are you okay? Sure. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, my name is MaryJane. I'm the Salomon. I used to be connected with the Philippine government. I used to draft bills and resolutions at the Philippine Senate. So I used to make laws. And then I became a strategist, political strategist. I ran presidential campaigns in the Philippines. And then I was offered a job in Singapore. I used to work with DBS Bank. That's the largest local bank in Singapore. I became a banker by accident. And then I became a publisher in Singapore as well. And then back in the Philippines, I came back as a humanitarian. I worked with the United Nations, UNHCR, Save the Children, Oxfam, during the Typhoon Haiyan. I don't know if you've heard about Typhoon Haiyan back in 2014. And then I ran in the local election in the Philippines, hoping that I'll be able to affect change. But you see, just like Vietnam, Philippines also is, just like the other Asian countries, we have problems with politics. But we're not going to talk about politics because it will take us years and years. The US now is so busy for their election. But of course, we're all hoping that they will elect the right president because we will be affected, right? Whatever they're doing in the US, Asia, we will be affected. But anyway, I'm here to represent my company, Stratoppo Global. It is not a word, I invented a word. The Stratoppo is Strat for strategy and Oppo for opportunity. I always believe that if you have opportunity, but if you don't have strategy, you will not be able to convert this. Conversion is very, very important. And that's what makes Vietnam a very, I would say, like in the Philippines, we're talking about the growth of Vietnam. For less than 10 years, you're able to make this 360-degree, turnaround because of the resilience of the people here. I know it's not perfect, and I'm an empowered woman. You can see in the papers what's happening in Vietnam with this almost $40 billion scam. Yeah, she's a woman, but she is very smart. but it's part of the system. So, Gary, I have to thank you for this opportunity because I get to promote the Philippines, the Department of Tourism through the umbrellas that I brought with me, and also, you know, the country as a retirement haven. You know, we're promoting the country as a retirement haven for all the nationalities who would like to retire and live in the Philippines. And in addition to that, those of you who would like, I have talked to some people here who are having problems in the Philippines with their expansion. We can talk about it. You can just buy me coffee and everything is free. MOC. Okay? I will be here until the 6th of November because I love, you know, when I arrived in Ho Chi Minh this morning, I went directly to the consulate office of the Philippine government. So we had a meeting. I had a meeting with the consulate general, honorary consulate general, who is a Vietnamese. She's a lawyer, and we're talking about business because she owns like 20 hectares of coffee plantation in Vietnam. So I am again surprised that, you know, we can really do business. So thank you, Gary, for bringing us together because we can do business. After this, we can do business. Whatever you can imagine, collaboration is the key. Just remember that we are here to make sure that everybody will be happy. Nobody will be left behind. Please don't leave us behind, Vietnam, because you are really there. And congratulations to you guys. Yeah, here from Vietnam. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Kenny Chiang. I'm originally from Hong Kong, but having lived and based here for over 12 years already. I'm a friend of Gary. I'm also one of the very first few committee member of the Vietnam chapter. We have a common friend, and he and Gary together invited me to join. I think this is probably the third time I joined the event of Asia CEO community. And I have joined in the past many business association, networking events, and so on. Just like just now, I was talking to Martin about that. But after a while, we kind of feel that it's all the same faces you are seeing, and actually what really benefits you are getting out of it. Especially, I guess, for many people, like at least for myself. I'm married, I have family, and then we probably have less time to go out. So when you do networking, you want to meet new friends, but also hopefully there would be some kind of business opportunities or things that you can generate. So I think that's quite important. And I guess it's also suggested well by the name of Asia CEO community. That's why I like it. I'm here to support and facilitate and help. So as of my experience in Vietnam, I have done many different things. I'm an entrepreneur in many different business sectors I have done. But currently I'm focusing on private credit, and then we work with a lot of banks, mainly addressing the financial gap that companies or business owners need the funding. And then I want to talk a little bit about the topic of tonight. When Gary asked me whether I can become one of the speakers tonight, I said I'm probably not the best qualified speaker. There are much better potential speakers like Bob, KPMG people, as well as Mr. Thuan. They are much more well qualified. But I said I'm happy to talk or give some sharing or whatever. And I said that initially the topic is about investment opportunities in Asia, but I think it's kind of a bit too broad, and then I think we should make it a bit more relevant to most people here who are being, let's say, entrepreneurs, business owners, or senior executives of businesses and companies. So I guess how to in terms of challenge and how to access capital, raising capital. guess especially to foreign investors, that could be something that is kind of meaningful or more relevant to people. And then, anyway, I think later on, Gary has prepared some questions to ask, and we are all free to share experience and give comments and so on. I guess this is not a very formal presentation, so we just network and share. Yeah. So I hope you enjoy tonight, and then hopefully, like MaryJane said, we all feel happy, and this will be useful, and going forward, we'll be doing this more and more often. Yeah. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Peter. I have to tell you that this is the first time in my life coming to Ho Chi Minh City. Very interesting. And once again, thank you, Gary, inviting me, having this opportunity to meet all of you. Tonight, hopefully, we can share some of our experience, our idea, our insight. Also like to share with you, apart from the managing director of the Squadron Capital, I'm the Africa Asia head. I'm also the board director of Asia CEO Committee, and my role is fully support Gary grow this community. I think right now, Gary, we are doing quite well, right? How many members we have globally?
23,000.
In 37 countries in market. And thank you, every one of you, and we will grow more stronger. And back to what we do is our company, the Squadron Capital, we provide quite lots of funding to all the listed company across Asia. I'm in charge of Far East and Middle East. As I said, we are very new to Vietnam, that's why I'm here. We do some talk to people here, and hopefully next year we are here and then to support the company in Vietnam and of course across the region as well. And tonight I hope to learn from you guys as well. And let's share more information and idea. And thank you very much. Thank you.
Sorry, it's unusual for a moderator to walk around. Obviously, we are out of budget for hiring a photographer. So please remember, pay your membership fee. Okay, so the first question for our speakers for today, I think it would be starting from what are the difficulty and challenge for Vietnamese companies for raising capitals. So maybe we can start with Pat.
Thank you. It's a big question, and given the very diverse audience, I'm thinking how to say in the most convenient way for not only for me and for you to understand. The challenges for Vietnam business environment. People talking thanks for the nice wording, about Vietnam. But in the past and now, people talking about the new age of raising. It's a new. I'm saying about the new political landscape system. That's the key thing. And we track very detailed, and many of our clients from Singapore, from Hong Kong, subscribe to our system and service. So they're selling off a lot divestment. But now it's coming down, given the improvement in the political, economic and political landscape. That's number one. But that's used to be the big challenges. But hope things improving, but not sure. So check and balance, even to perform the new cabinet and top leaders. So let's see. And the second, challenges for local market different from international market. And some of you working on the private debt transactions. So now becoming easier a little bit, but Fed fund rate still high. We are saying about 5% USD plus some risk premium. So it's very challenging. So normally for Vietnamese, we are talking and we are working with some deals around $11 to $15 per year. So it's a very not so often. and a lot of Singapore-based, Hong Kong, Canada, and so on. We are working on. So, but the key challenge is the Fed. The rate is still high. This is not sustainable. I have to say. The third thing, I think the challenge is the quality of the companies, corporate governance, transparency, a lot of issue. Here, every country, not only the big corp and the small corp as well, SME and so on, but the culture for transparency and taking the responsibility. Because if you give me the money, I need to be accountable for you. That's simple, but not easy to find good borrowers here. Of course, bankable. It depends on the economic cycle as well. We have the good and high economic growth, but look at the component or deep dive that. So still the foreign investors, you guys, locally, still very weak. And consumption, we are tracking. We add up not the top line from the high level, but only all the retail companies, Vietnamese, Masan, bakery, and so on, is still below zero. If you look at, you go around the street, and that's the real situation. It's not like something you see on the media, so that's the real. And the contribution to GDP, economic as a whole, is more about FDI, import, export, local consumption is still very weak. Investment by private sector is still a problem, especially the real estate. I see some hotel developers here is still frozen. So we hope if we can unlock that, not only 7%, maybe double digits. That's a matter of how the person who runs the country and unlocking the problem. But in short, yes, but Vietnam, we have a lot of challenges at the moment, and it's taking the credit environment, capital environment getting better and better, even the macro level, banking system, corporate bonds still deadlocked, still frozen, except for the bank bonds. Private credits happening around 10 transactions per year. This year the same. And that's good, because fundamentally some companies still good, but it's a matter of they don't have a long or matching on the tenor between their cash flow and the debt profile. So that's the opportunity for the private credits. So in overall, we're seeing things better, a lot of challenges, of course, but getting better and better, and opportunity for foreign. Not only the private credits, but the foreign institutional and individual can buy corporate bonds. We do the rating, so we know which one attractive or not. Of course, we are not the advisor, but a lot of opportunities. I can share with you. I can tell you some good bonds in local currency is around 20% yield, but there's someone selling off on the market. So if someone's smart enough, I think that's very good, and not long, for like 3 or 6 months to maturity. So a little bit technical for some of you, but here and there a lot of opportunities, not only in real estate, in some making the business here, but financial in the capital market as well. So maybe I stop here. Thank you, Gary.
Maybe for this question, I think we move to Kenny. Kenny, what do you think about the questions? How do you think the challenge and difficulties for Vietnamese companies to raising their capital?
I think Mr. Dong summarized it very well, but then I guess he is also mostly addressing the big companies. I think the challenge actually is very challenging for if you are SMEs and smaller companies. Big companies, you still have more channels, but small companies, the business owner probably are so busy with having to keep the company afloat, survive, finding orders, finding customers. They have to do everything, and then they cannot even spend the time, and they probably don't have, I would say, enough financial literacy or knowledge to how to make the deck, or even have access to the right kind of potential investors. I almost think that a lot of people, I'm talking about the smaller ones, they are always thinking about some kind of pitch event and so on, even Shark Tank and so on. They seem to be focusing so much on the so-called startup or something, but there are still many traditional business, SME, and I think it's very difficult for them. And also the bank don't prioritize to lend to them. So I think there are a lot of challenges, but it's not something that can be easily solved. And then I saw your questions beforehand, so I want to jump a little bit. So you are saying that what if there is technology, IT innovation and stuff, whether they can help to address issues like that. I think it's possible because one of the challenge, I think, especially with the smaller size companies and business owners in fundraising, is that besides they don't have maybe the knowledge, the time, and also they simply don't have the right channel how to access to the potential investors. And they cannot afford to hire a investment banker to help them to raise funds. They have to do everything themselves. And even they find someone willing to take the job of helping to raise funds for them. Can they afford to pay a fee? And then they also don't know during the process whether the advisor, how much they have helping. So a lot of things. But yes, potentially it can be addressed or solved by some technology platform. I think hopefully, or even there are things like crowdfunding platform, and I myself have a small investment in a platform which is a fundraising platform, and it basically digitizes, make the whole process of fundraising to be very transparent online, and even SME, any companies can join. I think it can be one possible thing or solution that SME can look at. So that's just my overall. But I agree with Mr. Tong talking about all the challenges facing and whatever. But I'm most concerned about the small business and SME.
Yeah, thank you, Kenny. So the next question, I think we're good. Okay, yeah.
As the only woman here sitting with this gentleman here, I think it's good to note that the government should also support women founders and business owners. In the Philippines, we only allocate 5% for gender and development. But this one, we have to exert effort in increasing support from the government. You know, when we close the gap, we can do something about it. When there are opportunities being given to women, not just men, or regardless of the gender, then accessing capital should not be a problem. You know, it is a challenge for us. I'm also a founder. I'm an entrepreneur, and I've tried to pitch in the past, and it's a challenge, but I always convert that into an opportunity. You know, because investors would see through you. Investors, it's not just about preparing the deck. That's part of the game, but it's also how you present your pitch. There are investors who are looking for that X factor, why they would invest. You have to gain the trust. You have to be authentic. Again, if we don't have the opportunity like what you're doing, Gary, if we don't have the platform, access to capital will always be a challenge. Political challenge is also a big factor. In Vietnam, I will just be very blunt about this. In Vietnam, yes, you are progressing, but there are investors who are a bit hesitant to go into Vietnam because of what's happening here, real estate. Because of the government. The government is still communist, right? Am I correct?
Yes.
So when it's a communist government, it's a bit, you will be a bit, I would say, hesitant to go into 100%. Because the government can just take over everything. Like here, I was told that you cannot own land. The government owns the land. If for example, I'm an investor now, I would like to set up a company in Vietnam, I will not rent a building. I would prefer to rent land, and then I will put up my own building. Because that's 50 years. I think maximum rent for the buildings is like 10 years. Is that correct? And then you can renew that, depending on your agreement with the owner. But if you rent the land, initially you can rent for 50 years and another 20 years. I think that's the legality, So again, we will go back to square one. I don't want this to be complicated because we're all business owners here. We know what we're doing. Accessing capital is so simple. If the government will support us. We cannot do anything if the government will not support us. There should be legislation. That's my point of view, because I know the impact of government intervention. I know the impact of politics when it comes to business. That's why in the Philippines we cannot move forward because of too much politicking. That's why. That's one of the reasons why. So, just to connect that with accessing capital, I think it's a concerted effort, both from the private sector and the government. If we cannot get support from the government, we have to come together as private people, the business sector, in order for us to have this positive impact, and we can translate this into, a positive impression, with the potential investors. So thank you. That's just my contribution to the question. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Just to remind our community, we actually have 200 investors in the community. So if our investors, they invest in different countries, and Vietnam is one of their favorite places. So if you're looking for investors, you can contact us. We can link you up with. We have invested from angel stage to all the way to PIPO stage. So Peter is actually one of the investors. So actually his funds is planning to come to Vietnam. So
Yes.
Peter, can you tell us a little bit what you're planning to do in Vietnam and what you are looking for and what kind of things you would invest in Vietnam?
Thank you, Gary. As a foreign fund, we are very interested in Vietnam. We see the Vietnam economy is booming, especially the manufacturing side. A lot of factory going on, etc. And also in our industry, the financial sector, the stock market are quite booming. As I said, as a foreign investor, we like to see more transparency, like international financial standard report, more realistic financial figure. I have to say that. And probably all these companies could have the help from two nice sponsors like KPMG. we definitely will look into KPMG and all the big four, the audit report, etc. And we are very willing to provide funding and capital to this country, and we are very interested as well. And the criteria for us to invest is the company, of course, is the company, the growth, the market positioning, the governing of the company, and of course the management as well. This is very, very important for us. So again, once again, I really thank you, Gary, give me the chance, because I'm not really familiar with them. This is why I'm here. I need to talk to all of you, and I need to find out more. I stay here for a few more days, and then when I go back, I will write a report to the headquarters how we can come in and support probably early next year, and I will definitely come back again. Thank you, Gary.
Okay. Hello. Thank you, Peter. Actually, Peter is also one of the I think a listed company in Japan, so he's one of the directors. Yeah.
Yes.
So if you guys want to go to Japan, he's the guy.
I have three hats. Okay. One is I'm the managing director of Squadron Capital, which take up 70% of my time, and also I'm helping Gary as the board of director of SHIAC committee that take up 20% of my time, and my last 10% is I'm a board member of Tokyo Stock Exchange, is the company board of director, also helping. They are the third largest centenary manufacturing in Japan. They're very, very big. So that's it. If you guys want to go to Japan, I personally can and do some introduction for you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Peter. So I think we need to move to the next question. So the question is, how can Vietnamese companies build stronger relationships with potential investors? So, so should we start from?
No. How many Vietnamese company here? None, right? Or few?
A lot.
A Vietnam-based company. Yes. Vietnam-based company. How? So first, yes, about transparent accountability. It's the culture. We work a lot with Vietnamese, from big corp to medium to not so small, but the accountability is very low. Of course, taking time. It's not a range of generational changes, but it take time. And when you're working with the Vietnamese counterparts, that's the key thing. Otherwise, no business. The second is depends on the type of partnership, or talking about the money, capital. It should be the transparency. That's very important. And of course, for public company, they have some standards, but for private, for non-public, it's something that's a negotiation, and that's tough as well. And the third thing, I think how for Vietnamese, I'm thinking more about for you as a buy side. So corporate governance and reputation, very important. Actually, we support a lot of investor in the not only the KYC, but the reputational check as well. So that's very important. And remember, especially in private equity, you lost money not because of the economy, not because of family. Here, we have a 7% growth, almost all sector, 2-digit growth. But you lost the money because of the management, because of the local partner or your partners. That's the key. My message I told my clients. Every sector is growing. Of course, it's volatility up and down per days, but look at 5 or 10 years time horizon. Banking growing up, food, manufacturing, my business, data analytics, IT, almost everything. So you lost money because of the quality of the management. So back and how the Vietnamese should do that. So that's the key. So be open, be accountable, and be transparent. And for if you take money from someone else, that's the key. Even in person, you are my good friends. You give money for me and you ask me, what do you do with that money? No, that's my business. No, but taking time here for changing. And many companies, they're investing in the investor relation and doing, good improvement and with the regulatory from the government as well. They learn by doing some scandal, but they are growing up. And remember, for Vietnamese, I usually say to my clients, so we are the young boy, so we have some problem, but we still growing over the problem. So, and a lot of opportunities again.
So how about Kenny? What do you think? Kenny, I think most of he knows a lot of investors in Hong Kong. So sometimes I talk to the investors and I ask them about Vietnam. They will ask me to ask Kenny. So Kenny is actually very popular. So Kenny, what do you think? How can companies in Vietnam better build relationship with their potential investors? What are the key things that they should do?
I think Mr. Tong said all the right things. Just constantly communicating and be very transparent and accountable. And then, but once again, I want to also address to the smaller size of the Vietnamese companies. And then they are having the challenge how to even, or maybe sometimes they are even confused about who can be the potential investor and how do they have access to them. That is the challenge I think they are having. And plus, of course, they probably don't have much stand-up or transparency. There is an expectation gap between them in terms of valuation, in terms of reporting, in terms of a lot of stuff between them and their potential investors. So I think all of those things have to be improved, but cannot change overnight. And then I think they just have to learn to improve, and hopefully Asia CEO community can be one of the channel to help them, because Gary, with the help of all of us, will keep on bringing. It's like a jumping board, connecting point, and then yeah.
Thanks, Kenny. So I will now go to MaryJane. You have worked with so many big corporates in Asia. So what is your advice for like SME founders to keep their relationship with their investors or their potential investors?
Well, SME is the backbone of the economy. 90% SMEs, so we have to really legislate laws that would support and protect the SMEs, the MSMEs. And every government, they know this. And my advice is to keep on lobbying, to keep on pounding, to keep on, I would say, to keep on doing things. And then the government will, the politicians, the legislators would see the value of, the people, the majority. Like in the Philippines, 90% SMEs, MSMEs. Only few, the big ones, the Ayalas, the Aboites, the Tans, but 90% the small business owners. And I like what you said, that you're highlighting this, and I like what you said. That's good governance, accountability, transparency. We need those things. Because again, as investors, these people, they won't invest their money if they don't see transparency there. They're just wasting their money. Again, with ASEAN, Vietnam is part of the ASEAN bloc. We have free trade agreements with other Asian countries like the Philippines, Malaysia, Singapore, Cambodia, Laos. You're not part of the Asia-Pac. You're the North Asia. But with this, if we know how to take advantage of the free trade agreements that we had with other Asian countries in our bloc, Asia-Pac, we can do something about it because it's free. You don't need to pay taxes. Again, this is a different level of doing business. Because again, it's like capital. Okay, capital, we need capital. But if we think more, we can actually achieve more. There are so many things that we as business owners do not get to maximize in as far as the government is concerned. There are capital inside the government. You know, there are so many things that we can get from the government, not just from the private sector. Would you agree?
Not yet. No.
You don't? You don't agree?
It's not easy here. You take
I know.
public money and some you go to jail.
Yes, I know. In the Philippines, if I may, now the president, we have this. You know. I don't know if you are aware of the Pogo. Pogo is the online casino. It's not allowed in China. Okay, but in the Philippines, prior to pandemic, we had a lot of this in the Philippines because the president at that time was very friendly with China, mainland Chinese, not the Hong Kong people. Okay? Now, there is one mayor. I am sharing this with you because, again, this you might get something out of this. There is one person from China who ran for mayor in the Philippines, but she is a Chinese citizen. She ran for mayor because she was able to get her documents from the government, out of corruption. She paid. And then she was able to get the passport. So, again, transparency is very important. But you cannot get that with corrupt government. You cannot get that from, I don't want to say anymore because I'm in Vietnam. I would like to go back to the Philippines. Okay? But, having said that, we can do something. We can do something to help the government. If the government fails, the private sector should step up. We can do something to help ourselves. And this is why we need the fund managers. We need people like Peter. Okay? Peter, please help the Vietnamese.
I will.
Yes. And we have to make him accountable for his words. He will help, definitely. And of course, there are people, maybe, Kenny is just ready to assist. And what he pointed out to us is very important. You have to prepare. Financial inclusion, financial literacy is very important. So many of us, good ideas, but we cannot pitch because we don't know. We don't know how to pitch. We don't know the elevator pitch. That's very basic. So, again, I have a different view because I do things differently. With these guys, they're inside the office. I'm outside. I make things happen. So you tell me, we will do it. So in Vietnam, this guy will provide the capital and we will make sure that we can implement things. Even with the difficulty in the government. Sorry. Yeah, I think that's really a big concern when the government is not so transparent. It affects us as business owners. Thank you.
Thank you, MaryJane. Due to time limit, I think we will go to the last question. And the last question, I will go to Peter. Peter, as an investor, what would you like to see from the people who you invested in? What kind of things you expect from like the startup or the company that asked you for the money?
What sector?
Any sectors. So any company you can think of.
For startup,
Yeah, startup. Yeah.
most important is the founder, like Gary. Give him some credit. We invest in Gary. Okay. Anyway, yes, the founder, the management, the people, that's the number one, the most important. And secondly, of course, the positioning of the company, the growth potential, etc. And governing all these things, very pretty standard. So this is our key, factor before we do some investment.
Okay, so thank you to all our speakers for today. So we still have 1 hour of networking session, but before we do that, I would like to invite all of you to the stage to